I will try to, yesterday there were very useful presentations, and I think each of participants could learn a variety of issues, what is in front of this project and circular economy in Turkey. I would like to be shorter than 45 minutes it was announced before, but I would like to point out more methodology than results what we are having. I would like more to contribute with my experience. I'm a European Union Climate Pact ambassador and also working for UN. From that point of view, I would like to share with you some structural thinking about circular economy and to give at the beginning some ideas for this project to go forward. I will start, this is the content on my presentation, and I will start off what is the roadmap. This is not one definition of roadmap. This is from roadmap to mapping the road. And this is what I would like to point out for you. This is something that you should define what you would like to be your strategy or your roadmap to circular economy. This is to provide importance, but for your country, of transition to circular economy. Identify the sectors, recognize the key actors. But it is only the tool. This is not something that they will solve your problem. Going further, circular economy definition. It is a paper few years ago, a scientific paper, trying to find a unique definition of circular economy, and in this scientific paper you have reference on the bottom. You could find that there are more than 100 possible definitions of circular economy. That means that you are in front of you is to define what is circular economy meaning for you in Turkey and for this project. This is a very important step. Definition is, there are more than 100, but the first thing is that it is transition to long-term process, and having that in mind, this is related to greenhouse gases emission and climate change. Yesterday, we just have a few points connecting circular economy with climate change. Sorry to say, but it is my mission. I have to point out that it is very important to take in account some basic issues of climate change or emission of greenhouse gases, because it is influencing your country infrastructure and performance. And there are three key principles of circular economy: preserve natural capital, optimize resources, and foster system effectiveness. As I learned from the documentation of this project, this is something that already in the project pipeline, it is focusing of the two issues of the circular economy. As if I read properly, this project is not covering, I could tell, all bunch of circular economy stuffs. In this project, Turkish side asked to be focused on waste management and resource efficiency. This is, if I read that well. That means that you have to be very focused, because the project is just few years, and to open the door for the other issues. And they are what is the circular economy, what include. This is, you see that yesterday we have brilliant presentation about economic, social, and environmental gains of circular economy. But what I would like to point out that circular economy is a concept and process. This is not something what is strongly defined and with the borders that you cannot go out of this box. This is not box. This is a process and a concept. And three key approaches are extended producer responsibility. We heard yesterday Italian experience, very good presented. Little bit touch green public procurement. From my experience, this is a very big area to work in a country about green public procurement and business partnership along the value chain. This is very important for businesses. And now I would like to share with you something what's going on global UN scale. Why? Because I read in this project that you would like to link the results with Agenda 2030. If you would like to do that, I will, with few slides, show what's going on. At the global level, UNEP in 2019 have strategy sustainable consumption and production, including circular economy. This is the only place where in UNEP papers you could find the word circular economy. UNEP is mostly talking about sustainable consumption and production. And now, 1 month, 2 months ago, at UNEA 5, this is Assembly of UNEP, they put a verdict that they will go towards global effort on resource efficiency and circular economy, meaning that they think that resource efficiency are not in circular economy because they put "and." Meaning that you have to be very careful at the beginning what are the inner borders of the project, the outer borders of the project. And at global level, they approved 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, but the term circular economy doesn't appear in Agenda 2030. No single word. Of course, in Sustainable Development Goals, we made analysis that, you know, there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals, 169 targets, and 6 Sustainable Development Goals are directly related with circular economy. That this meaning that sometimes when it is not mentioned by your word, you have to look deeper in the documents and to see how these Sustainable Development Goals related with the circular economy. This is a summary, direct contribution of 21 targets, indirect 28, and so on. That means that outreach of analysis is that implementation of Sustainable Development Goals are directly contributed to implementation of circular economy in some country. And this is something what usually is not presenting related to the circular economy, but I find this very important because at a certain point you have within the project to develop the indicators how you will proceed and how you will monitor the progress of circular economy implementation. I saw International Standardization Organization is having under development, I think, five standards related to the circular economy that started in 2019, and we could expect that very soon. Sometimes we could for example, in ISO 14000, you have a bunch of definitions there. Maybe we will face when those standards are out that have agreed definitions, agreed guidelines to business model, because one of standard is guidelines on business model, measuring circularity. It is very useful to look what is happening at International Standard Organization. France, as a country, have a national standard of a circular economy. This is the only one country, I think, that have a national standard. And at EU level, I am not talking, I will mainly skip this because yesterday there were great presentations for DG Environment from Brussels and other presenters. But I would like to point out that here in Turkey you have a pretty good performance of zero waste project, and it is important that it is developed a set of 10 indicators how to monitor circular economy performance in some country. And this is something that you already heard yesterday, from first action plan on circular economy to second in 2020. Somebody called this in 2022 the third action plan, but I'm not sure this is action plan. There are some actions, but this is not action plan with this plastic initiatives on circular economy this year. That means the European Union is working strongly with this Green Deal on circular economy issues. But this is already said yesterday. The sectors, you have a very good presentation, textiles, plastics, packagings, batteries, and I'm not going to repeat that. It is in 2022 Sustainable Products Initiative, and this green and digital transition remain the flagship initiatives of European Commission until 2024. And some points of this action plan, European Union action plan. Mandatory green public procurement, mandatory. Key product value chain, less waste, more value, to work for people, regions and cities, cross-cutting actions including climate change mitigation and adaptation. I am using this as a part of my mission as European Union Climate Pact ambassadors to link the climate change with the circular economy. And mainstreaming circular economy in free trade agreements and all other instruments. We see how this is a difficult process, and it will be for European Union really challenged this year how the European Union will do that in current circumstances. But we will see and monitor the progress. But what to say? European Union is a vision, but in October 2019, European Environmental Agency had a report that in Europe, circular economy is at early stage. Talking about the country level, you have at the country level, and I work for ministry for more than a decade, and I know that you face to report implementation of Sustainable Development Goals and Agenda 2030. You have to report progress towards EU accession, and you have national reporting. It will be very good to find out the benefits to report all three, or to have one reporting for all of those purposes. Something more to understand at the country level, you see that action areas are production and consumption like UN is thinking, but waste management, secondary raw materials, innovation, investigation, and monitoring. Priority sectors, key drivers. Key drivers are legislation, green taxation, business drivers, and raw material stock. What is important to understand from at the country level? I will share later with you some experiences from point of view from Turkey, very small country, Serbia. But the point is that we started to think about circular economy at the beginning thinking this is some kind of synonym with the waste management. And later on we learned that circular economy go beyond waste management. I'm pressing. Okay. This is something to remind you what is linear, what is circular economy. And another point of view. Now it is very fashionable to talk about plastic, and it is a new plastic treaty under development by UNEP, and the first draft should be before 2024. But the thing is that somebody is thinking, or some circles of business are thinking that if you are thinking about single use of plastic or something like that, you are already fulfilling circular economy requirements. But it is not true. Circular economy goes beyond plastic use. And one more reminder. I participate in one global study on toxicity of plastic pellets. Plastic pellets are recycling plastic used in recycling industry to make another plastic products. These are some kind of small balls when used further in recycling. In 24 countries, all samples are toxic, meaning that there are some international organizations now trying to influence this global plastic treaty to have strict rules on recycling plastics. That means that not all plastics should be recycled. And this is something to have 1 year what's going on the global scale to see that not all plastic recycling is environmental friendly or toxic free. And something what already somebody mentioned yesterday, I don't know who, but circular economy washing. This is something that it is very fashionable to see. I have a green hotel, I have a green behavior, this is circular, this is sustainable. But in a lot of verdicts, you find that it is nothing with green, nothing with circular. This is really fashion world, and you have to be careful with talking with somebody. They think they are green if they wear green clothes, but to be really green, you have to go deeper, or to be really circular, you have to go deeper. This is not only an issue with the people. Sometimes in some reports, including company reports, you find that they have a green transition, but when you read it, nothing of green transition is in there. That means that you have to watch carefully the verdict and the substance. And in Serbia, we have some illness, like in childhood. We don't have integrated approach of the issues, and we don't have yet environmental policy framework in all key economics and sectoral policies. For example, a few years back, we approved the law on sustainable development of cities, and it is a chapter circular economy. But this is only this chapter, nothing in the other horizontal measures concerning circular economy. They just mentioned it. It is a nice small chapter, but nothing is going through this kind of integral approach. We are really struggling with this issue to come and to be done. And what I will share with you, we did in 2020 ex-ante analysis and roadmap to circular economy. I will share with you more methodology than the results. knowing that you could find this strategy, somebody mentioned yesterday, Circular Economy European platform. This is already posted there. And we have also to mention one regional project, NNet. They did a lot about a circular economy in different countries from the point of view of citizens. What we have, as another example, we have industrial policy strategy. This is coming after the roadmap for the circular economy until 2030. And it is something about circular economy there, but very shy and very we could take that they are taking our roadmap for circular economy as something that they have to do that, and at least they read it and they put something in the final document. They put few things. This is procurement. This is like green public procurement, promotion and education, investment and low carbon economy solutions, and more efficient use of material resources and energy efficiency in industrial processes. This is something that is recognized, and we have in Serbia now the Center of Circular Economy and Serbian Chamber of Commerce, and they have already some very good platform opened. We will see how it will be working, but it's a really good output. And we have a Center for Cleaner Production at the Faculty of Technology and Metallurgy, University of Belgrade. We put, you know that European Union had a new package of the waste management targets a few years ago, and this is the first time with these targets framework waste management directive is becoming the subject of possible negotiation of countries for implementation, because before that, as a framework strategy, it was not under the negotiation umbrella. With these targets, we already did that, and we have a program for waste management until 2035, and we including what are European Union targets concerning waste management related to the circular economy issues. We went one step further, and this year we have circular economy program of Republic of Serbia for the public debate. And a lot of public opinion was given, but I don't know what, it is still not going forward. This was just a few months ago, and probably this program will be adopted in years to come. One of the reasons why we are adopted that very smoothly, because as Turkey is, Serbia is a candidate country to EU membership, and we have, as you have, also some kind of the list of obligations, and under those lists is the circular economy issues. As I think Turkey opened the chapter 27 years ago for negotiation. We opened it in December 21, but it is now new methodology of EU accession. It is not chapter 27. This is cluster 4, and chapter 27 is together with the energy, the transport, and regional networks. And in our negotiation position, I was working on negotiation position for Chapter 27. I was the member of a core governmental team for this negotiation procedure of Chapter 27 for environment and climate change. And we requested the transitional period for waste management, meaning that we couldn't do that immediately, that we need some decades to fulfill all things that what are requested by European Union as waste management standards. And Serbia has achieved some level of preparation, talking about EU language, and we made limited progress in the past years. Serbia should considerably step up ambitions toward the green transition. Circular economy concept in Serbia is still at early stage, but it is just fine because European Union is at the early stage. We are all together at the early stage, and this is something that is really challenging. That maybe we could avoid some long journey, maybe if we are smart enough to make a shorter journey. I would like to give your attention, if you are later on would like to explore this. At the bottom, you could find this digital platform for circular economy of Serbian Chamber of Commerce. You could find the link, and it is interesting to see it. And the roadmap, the document, is the European Union platform, and it is made as an initial document, as a living document. And with intention to update at a certain level and to be a living document that it is said there. Roadmap study understanding processes, what and why. We have economy, we have politics, we have environmental protection, and we have society. For us working in topics, this politics is always something what we really don't know at the moment where we are, but it is, I think, a problem in each country because, for example, we don't know how fast we are going to European Union. Are we going fast or slow or whatever? Or is it a political consensus or not? And something like this is really influencing working on the subject. Like we or not, but it is influencing. And what is, I would like to share with you the methodology, how a roadmap is prepared. Step 1, find partners on a journey toward transition and public policy harmonization. List, this is something that is, I think, important initial lesson for this project too. List all the institutions that are actively involved in the creation of policies and all public policy documents relevant to transition to circular economy. Step 2, identify opportunities and barriers for circular economy implementation in your country. Regulatory and institutional framework. The implementation of circular economy requires multi-layered and multi-sectoral connections between the national public policies and regulation. Government and parliament must have a unique position on the policies in the context of circular economy. Circular economy requires significant investments by all. The European Commission has announced new supportive funds, and the most money of European Union for circular economy is going through research and innovation. Although you don't want to think about those issues in this kind of projects oriented to the policy and intervention in that field, it is very important to keep eye what is approved as a research and innovation in your country by the European Commission to be financed in next period. And identify priority sectors in your country. This is really country specific, and we develop some sharing platforms, resource recovery. These are business models, sharing resource recovery, product life extension, product as a service, circular supply chain, and the sub-model, recycling, upcycling, repair, maintain, product assemblies. And we try to go and we make a list of company's business in place, we put that in some of those groups, and we choose priority sectors, but it is important by country that sector must have economic potential to increase competitiveness. Sector must operate with the sustainable use of resources. Sector must work on preventive waste. Sector must be available to the public. Precondition to apply circular business models already exist. Sectors must be able to achieve positive effects in a short amount of time. And for Serbia, we choose priority sectors: manufacturing industry, agriculture and food, plastic and packaging, and construction. But where is waste? That means that it is some question for ex-ante analysis of our roadmap. Is waste horizontally taken, or it is somehow not having potential, what I listed before, for competitive jobs? It is something that I am honestly sharing with you, very good points of our roadmap for the circular economy. For these 4 sectors, we have really deep basic recommendation, and this you could find in the roadmap. But my question is, and I will study that later, where is waste management, and how is that taken in our roadmap for circular economy? Key lessons for creating a circular economy is to create the roadmap from your country perspective. Cooperation is the starting point and requirement for progress. Make sure that the roadmap balances action with flexibility and forms situation picture. Concluding remarks for Serbia, this is not national priority. This is not no integrated approach. And in one Turkish scientific journal, as a first author, we publish paper, Country in Transition, Serbian Case, Circular Economy Starts for Waste Management. This is the second footnote on this slide, that you could look deeper what is really situation related to circular economy and waste management in Serbia. And we choose this Turkish paper, journal, a scientific journal. This is just started because we are for years involved in this European Asian Waste Management Conference each year in Turkey. And some challenges are long thinking, limited multi-sectoral approach, awareness raising and education, strengthen and monitor effectiveness, and accelerate education, awareness raising, and dissemination of knowledge. These are more deep challenges. What I'm sharing with you, that it is something to start what you already have, but at the end, it is important to look at studies of certain topics, like research studies of innovation studies. It is very important to have consumer awareness initiatives and educational activities. That means that circular economy is important for public schools, municipalities, and industry. And some concluding remarks. Circular economy is not subject of chapter 27. You could find that in the other chapters or EU accession, like competitiveness and other chapters. And for Serbia is in the Western Balkan, and we have now as a European Union have a green agenda. They have a green agenda for Western Balkan separately with action plan. With that action plan, circular economy is one of the priorities. Turkey is not Western Balkan, but I hope that you have some other instruments to go forward with the green agenda of European Union. One more indicator. You see, we monitor how many times term circular economy is mentioned in the articles in the written media in Serbia, and you see from 2011, 0 to 2020, 80 times. I don't know, is that enough? But it is at least tendency is good. And we produce also together some NGOs in the regional net network. This was from Turkey Tema, from Brussels, CEB, somebody was yesterday here, and from Serbia, this is Environmental Ambassador for Sustainable Development, and in that report you could find the reference guidelines of circular economy for countries of Western Balkans in Turkey. It is shown that circular economy in Western Balkan and Turkey is in early stage, nothing new. But I find something that you have a Green Deal action plan for Turkey, and one of these circles is circular economy, green and circular economy. I would challenge you what you mean by green economy. And concluding remarks. Always I have to tell you that it is a concept and a process. Circular economy is long-term undertaking, the benefits of future generation, economic growth with environmental quality and social equity. And with this, I would like to thank you very much.
Andjelka, thank you very much for excellent presentation. Although it's very interesting that the waste is missing from from the main roadmap. Do we have questions for Andjelka? Please, Romano.
It was mentioned the indicators for the monitoring of circular economy. Just to point out that Italy is going to issue a national standard with indicators at different level, macro and micro, also for organizations. And it seems that this national standard could be the basis for the international standard. So there was a consultation phase in progress. I guess it will be issued in the coming months.
From my point of view, but I will share with you, it will be important somehow to merge EU indicators. We heard yesterday they have something on the European Environmental Agency side. We heard yesterday OECD. We have standards, we have different countries, and we have sustainable development goals indicator list, 200 something, and it will be good for this project to choose some kind of best positioning for this purposes list of indicators. Thank you.